Hey everybody, I'm out here walking. We're having actual light rain this morning. I didn't think it was going to rain. Actually, it kind of looked overcast, but it said it was going to rain in 45 minutes and it's already raining now. So much for that timely prediction. Whenever they give me a wrong prediction, I always think of the World Series. When I was living in Kansas City, there was a rain delay for the game, and they called it like 15 minutes before the rain got there, and the National Weather Service in the Kansas City area called it like 15 minutes before the rain got there, and then they called it exactly when it was going to end. And that's when I knew that we're not getting the best forecast, because they can predict it down to minutes. Then you know, they know, right? Anyway, so I'm here walking this morning because I have a lot on my mind today, and I wanted to kind of help myself de-stress a little and get a little more focused, and walking helps me do that. So I came out and walked, and I wanted to talk about a few things, and have my hat on and my hair up as I get ready for the day yet. And I was watching this get ready video earlier, and I was like, what's going on? And then off my phone, it was changing my connection. Anyway, so I was watching this get ready video, and these people were like, who do you think you are telling people like what makeup to wear? I'm like, you don't have to do what they say. Like, they're just giving you suggestions. It's just a recommendation. You don't have to do it. They're not forcing you. But one of the things, I don't know why my brain went to this place. Okay. So after I watched that video, I went and looked to see like at my own posts and my own videos, not for any reason other than I'm always curious, like what my engagement rate is and what people are doing, and like one person liking it, but they watch it. So I know that because I can see how many people watch my videos and all of that. So what people do, and I know you think they're not thinking this, but they see your name or your work, or they see my name or my work, and they're like, I'm not going to support her. Her know that I watched her video. I mean, I can't see who watched it usually, but I can just see how many people. Or they say, I'm not going to like her post because I don't want her to feel encouraged about this. So that's what they're doing. When somebody doesn't go in and like your stuff, sometimes it's intentional. They do that on purpose. Like, I know when I first started doing some of my videos online, people wouldn't like it on purpose because they were trying to discourage me from doing that. And then, like, recently, somebody made up a lie about me because they're trying to make me look bad. And I just honestly, it's like, I didn't do what this person accused me of doing, so that made me really angry, to be honest. Because it's the same people over and over. And at some point, you just have to decide that who you're doing this for. Are you doing this for people to like your posts or to watch what you have to say? Or are you doing it because you want attention? Like for me, I go online because it's part of my business, right? And to let these people kind of treat you badly and then base how you act or your decisions in life off of what they say, that's not really your problem. That's their problem. It honestly is. And if your friends on social media or Facebook. Usually it's just Facebook. If people on Facebook don't support you, they're not your friends. It's that simple. They are not your friends. Because it takes like 1 second to like a post. Actually, maybe 30 seconds. Because most of the things on Facebook are like 30 seconds long. So if somebody doesn't want to engage with your post or you, it's like 30 seconds. And I'm going to be honest, like that kind of stuff really makes me upset. And I say something about it. Because I'm like, I've sat here and I had people be like, well, you don't just post good things in your life. And I'm like, because life isn't like some fake positive trip, Even people who teach law of attraction kind of things. Like I watched, what was her name? Oh my gosh, it's escaping me this morning, but I'll think of it. But I watched some videos where this woman talks about law of attraction. I used to do that on the bus in the mornings. And even they teach that just 52% of the time. You don't have to act happy all the time. That's not real life. It's not how life works. And so I was criticized the other day because I don't just post about the good things in my life. And I'm like, well, I mean, why do you need me to say how perfect my life was all the time? That's not reality. And to demand that kind of fake positivity from people, it's not healthy either. It's not healthy. It's not mentally healthy or physically healthy, because then you're pretending your life is fine when inside you're feeling awful, And so I was thinking about, so I have a hard time talking about myself. So this is something that I had to take I had therapy, right? And it was so painful for me to talk about myself for an hour, because usually 15 minutes is about all I had. So that's one of the reasons I like social media, because you get on and it's like talk for a few minutes and then you're done. You do for me a minute. So I just looking at the dog park. Anyway, you wake up in the day and you're like, well, this isn't like the best day of my life, but maybe tomorrow will be better. And it's okay for it to not be the best day of your life. And when people don't support you in the good times, it makes it hard to remember the good times. Like a few years ago, and I'm not telling you this to feel sorry for me. It's not about that. A few years ago, I had somebody tell me that people didn't spend time with me because I never invited them anywhere. But what's really happening is I invite people to do things with me and they don't do it, but then they'll go do it by themselves and not invite me. See how that goes? And again, it's basically like saying, you're not good enough for me to spend my time with. That's what they're trying to tell me. And trying to discourage me from doing anything or being around anybody. Like that's really cruel. Like that's a level of, like, I don't know if you know this, but people not liking your posts on social media is a form of bullying. That's why they do it. And I'm an adult, and this has been going on for 10 years. So I just wanted to share this kind of stuff with you. Or like, I won't talk to you if you don't do this and that. And I mean, I'm not an axe murderer by any means. But people just are like, oh, like I did something horrible because I wouldn't act the way somebody wanted. If somebody wants you to act the way they want or do what they want or won't talk to you because they don't like you or you are not performing, then that person isn't your friend. A man who's known you for years and won't spend time with you in public, That's ridiculous. That's not somebody who is your friend. Or acts angry if you, like, I'm in my 50s and I have somebody who acts angry every time I reach out to them. And it's not once, like, every day. I do have a lot more frequently, but this is so childish. I contact this person maybe once every few months, once a month. And they're like, oh my God, I told you not to contact me. I'm an angry person. Like, are you kidding me? You're acting like you're doing me a favor by me contacting you, or that I'm chasing after you because I'm talking to you. I've literally had people that I went to undergrad with. I'm in my 50s. Again, this was 30 years ago, but this is recent. This isn't like stuff that happened 30 years ago. This is stuff that happened in the last few months. And they actually told me, why are you contacting me? Like, I didn't tell you you could talk to me. I'm like, who do you think you are talking to me like that? What's wrong with you? And I can assure you, I've never talked to those people that way. But that's how they treated me in college too. They acted like I wasn't good enough to hang out with them. So that's why they do it. Because they're trying to, like, force you to get their acceptance and approval. And that way you'll do what they want. So here's another example. When I was in college, and I've been talking about this a lot, I'm probably going to write about this in my blog today, because I am trying to do this. This person was saying, like, the person was complaining about how I don't talk about positive things that happen to me, because I was telling them, like, you're always posting about things from high school and college, and they're like, well, I'm just writing about good things that happened in my life. And I'm like, I don't really have anything good to talk about from that time in my life. So part of my gratitude practice is I'm supposed to, like, try to find something good, which is really hard. And so one of the things that I don't know why I struggle with this, because I've been to a lot of events throughout my life with you over time. So when I was in undergrad, we had this men's house. They had this formal. It was like everybody would go in their pajamas, okay? And it was like a big deal. It was at Christmas time. And so it's a really small private college. Let's put it like that. It was only 1,000 students. So there's like 500 men and 500 women. Okay, so let's put it into context. So this college, like the first year, a bunch of women that I was friends with, they weren't invited, that were on my house. And so all of us piled in a couple of cars, and because we lived, like, the school I went to was really close, halfway between Des Moines and Kansas City. So we piled in a couple of cars and we went to Kansas City. And it was fun, and like, we took like some chariot rides, or around Kansas City, and looked at the lights on the plaza and went shopping and went to a movie, and it was all fun. And then the next year, same thing, only the first year is probably like 10 girls, 10 women, young women. The next year it was about 5 young women. So as you can tell, I'm one of the women because I was there, right? Then the next year it was like 2 or 3. And then the year, so I was saying the last year it was only me. And back then I was not as overweight as I am now. I was much thinner, and I was pretty. I looked at my pictures. I was just as pretty as any of those other girls. But to these guys, I wasn't good enough to spend their time with. And now that I've moved here to Idaho, and I really believe, I don't know if this is true, So a lot of people, their families know each other that go to that school because it's so small. And so they go there because their family went there. That somebody told them to treat me like that until I acted the way that they wanted. Or I would dress or look or act the way they wanted. Which I didn't have time for that because I was paying my way through college. I didn't have time to sit there and, be what they wanted me to be. Because those people the thing that I learned when I was in college, I learned this, that no matter what you do, some people will never accept you, never approve of you. They'll never like your post because they don't want to. They don't want to be there for you. And it's just how it is. So anyway, fast forward, I'm in my 50s. Okay. Actually, let me go back to Kansas City because I lived in Kansas City and a lot of the alumni from the college that I went to live there. And they would see me and they wouldn't even speak to me. They would act like they didn't even know who I was. Even if I went up and talked to them, I'd be like, hey, and I would introduce myself because in college I wore glasses and I was much thinner and I was like, maybe they don't know who I am. So I go, hey, I'm Jeanette Harrison, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, I know who you are. I'm too good to talk to you. I'm the director of a daycare in a church basement. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? You're kidding me, right? And I had just spent the first half of my career working with doctors, lawyers, executives. Not a single one of them treated me like that. But these people thought they were too special for me. And they treated me like that the whole time I was in Kansas City. And then they would say things like, well, you didn't come up and talk to me in person. I said, that's fascinating because that's a two-way street, right? It's like, why do I always have to come up and talk to you? Because they wanted to say that I was chasing after them and seeking their acceptance and approval. And then when I would talk to them, then they would get mad and be nasty. So fast forward, so now here I am living in Idaho. And I have people doing the exact same thing to me. The exact same thing. So, like I told you, they would act mad if I contacted them once a month, like it was so bothering them. And I think like 70,000 followers on social media. I only contact people myself that either responding to their messages or if I'm like, you know what, I'm going to give you the time of my day. Because honestly, I don't have to do that. Like, I don't have that many friends on Facebook because it's just a bunch of drama, in my opinion. And for me, it's like, if you want to complain about my Facebook post, unfriend me and go away. Like, I don't have time for that. I'm okay. Like, I promise you, I'll be fine. There's like 8 billion people on the planet. And what really made me angry is I came here and these people acted like they were too good for me or I wasn't acting right. And so they didn't have to spend any time with me. And so this person recently was mad at me because I criticized their family on social media. And I really didn't criticize them. I just said, don't lie to me. I know you're lying. Don't play this game that you don't know people. And I didn't even say who it was, honestly. But they're always, monitoring me so they can complain to their friends and they can perpetuate this, like, oh, we hate Jeanette game. And honestly, I'm tired of it. So I started reflecting about this a couple years ago, about how, actually more than a couple of years ago, about how these people were treating me this way. And I'm like, this is not somebody who's my friend. You can't go out and spend an hour or two of your time having a cup of coffee with me. Then how are you my friend? If you see me in public, you act like you don't even know me. How is that a friend? That's disgusting, honestly. That's something I can't believe that people in their 50s do that. And I'm sure they have their, long list of excuses that they call reasons. But why are they doing that? Because then that gives them power over me. Well, I won't do this. I won't spend time with you until you do all these list of 20 things that I've made up. And this person actually did the same thing. Oh, well, I would date you, and then they give me like a list of 10 things I had to do. And I was like, after they were done, I was like, I don't even remember what they said, because they lost me after the third one. You don't have to put up with that. So sometimes I feel like I listen to some of these relationship experts online, and they're doing like relationship coaching and business coaching, and part of it is like your relationships are part of the problem. Like, instead of saying, hey, don't just look at the person and how they treat you, but watch how they're treating other people, because that'll tell you a lot about them. Anyway, so that's my rambling for this morning. But I wanted to talk about that, because I feel like sometimes you feel so discouraged because maybe people from your college or your past or your family, they don't support you in what you do, or you think like nobody likes your videos or no one's watching. People are watching. But there's some people that it doesn't matter what you do, they're not going to support you. The minute you get a little bit of notoriety, they're going to come out and make up some lie that you did something to them that you never did. Just like this person, he told me his former girlfriend made up some lie that I showed him, some message that I sent her that I never sent. It's nothing but a lie. Why? So she can get attention from him, and she and her friends can perpetuate their negativity toward me, because they didn't like me in college. I didn't like them either, but you don't see me going around making up lies about them. I don't have time for that. I do call them out on what they do, though. And then they're like, oh no, we weren't doing that. Oh, we love everybody. We're fake people. They're the same people who practice this fake positivity. You don't have to do that. You don't have to have the acceptance and approval of all of these people. And you don't have to sit there and fight to get them to like you, because if they don't like you, they don't like you. And there's nothing you're going to do to change their minds. I know, because I've been dealing with these same people for 30 years who keep popping back up into my life for God only knows what reason. And I know whatever I do, they're not going to like me. So why bother trying? You don't want to spend time with me? Are you kidding? Like, it's funny. I've lived in Idaho for 6 years, and I've had a lot of people who, they do want to spend time with me. I mean, maybe not always, but, you know. I mean, I've sat at tables with senators and other executives, and they wanted to spend time with me. I've sat at tables with bartenders and custodians, and they want to spend time with me. I don't think the problem's with me. So sometimes you just have to start paying attention to what's really going on. I know a lot of times people are like, Jeanette, how can you be on social media? There are a lot of trolls. You know who my trolls are? 99% of them. Sorry, this is my gimbal, and I'm like, I'm not going to open it up because I'm waiting for the rain. But 99% of them are people that I know personally. It's so rare for me to hear from just some random troll on the internet that I complain about it. Because I'm like, what? What happened? It's really rare. I read other people's things, and they do get, like I was watching a makeup tutorial for women over 40 today, And I liked it because I always have issues with my eyeshadow. And so I often don't wear it. And so they were like teaching how to like get the eyeshadow to stay on or whatever. And people were being nasty. They're like, I'm in my 50s and I'll wear whatever color I want. I'm like, she's not telling you. She was telling people not to wear those colors, actually. She was telling them to wear these kind of nude, neutral colors, which I also agreed with the women, like, wear what you want, but make sure it looks, nice. So I was watching that, and people they do make comments to them, but on my stuff, they don't. Instead, people I know message me and tell me nasty things, and then this woman made up a lie that I sent her a nasty message, which is probably why all of her friends were contacting me and saying nasty things, because that's their excuse for doing it. And she's wishing negative things on me, but yet she's one of those people who says you have to be positive all the time. Really? You think you're a nice person and you're being cruel to me? That doesn't make any sense. So really watch people's actions, and you don't need their acceptance and approval because you'll never get it. Somebody who contacts you and tells you another person told a lie about you, which maybe she didn't, maybe he made it up. It's hard to tell. But you don't need those people in your life. And if they get on your social media and accuse you of stuff, just go on with your life. Because if you look at professional athletes and performers, there's always somebody who has something bad to say about them. And I know that these people, that they just don't like me. They never have, they never will. And honestly, the truth is, the people who claim they don't like me and I did all these things to them, they don't even know me. I would never send a nasty message to somebody I don't even know. That doesn't even make any sense. In fact, what had happened is she contacted me, friended me on Facebook, started liking all of my posts, which hardly anybody else did. So I knew something was up. I couldn't figure out why. Then I saw that she was friends with these men who live here in Idaho. This is before I even moved here. And she was liking all my posts. I found out she was friends with these men who lived here in Idaho. And I was like, oh, I didn't know who she was. And so then I looked her up in the yearbook, and I found out who she was married to. And I said, oh, she was married to this guy who I had gone to college with also. And I was like, now I know who she is. Because she was so-and-so's girlfriend. That's like how I barely knew who she was. And he was good friends with these men who live here. And then she started dating one of the men who lived here. So basically, like, this guy was her ex-husband, and then she started dating one of his, like, best friends here. Or his best friend's brother. And then I sent her a message. I came here to Idaho for my niece's wedding. And she acted like I was stalking her when I saw she had these pictures. I was like, oh, is that Idaho? I was just there. She's like, oh my God, you're stalking me. And that's how insensitive these people are, because I was actually stalked in my home for 7 years. And of course, they couldn't believe that would happen. Like, oh my God. Like, why did that happen to me? Because these women started telling someone else that they were so worried about her son being around me because they didn't like me in college. Really immature. So when this person said that to me the other day, and I've been kind of like vacillating back and forth, I'm like, maybe I am doing something that they find offensive. I find this behavior offensive. Telling me that they won't spend time with me because I won't act the way they want, or I won't say how great their college is. I'm a human being. I'm allowed to have an opinion. And so are you. And you're allowed to go and do your own thing and be your own person. But after he told me that story, that I suppose that this lie that I supposedly sent this woman some nasty message that I guarantee she fabricated, I don't care anymore. And that's what you have to do sometimes. Like, I was watching that show, Elle, and this girl on there, people called her names all the time. And she's like, and Elle told her, she asked Elle, her friend, why do you even like me? And she couldn't come up with a reason at the moment. And she finally said, it's because you don't care. And that's kind of how you have to get. You have to get to the point where you don't care what these people say. You don't. And I personally think it's ridiculous that people in their 50s, I reach out to them and talk to them and they act like I'm bothering them. And what started this whole conversation is this person, this gentleman, I use that term loosely. These women, every time a new woman is interested in him, they start stalking my Facebook. Every time. And I kind of get tired of it because they're not friending me. And they don't friend me. They just want to see what I'm up to, and then they contact him and complain about me so they can, in high school, and in college, I know, because this is what women did in college, what they would do is they'd start picking me apart to men so the men wouldn't be interested in me. That's a high school thing to do. Or I even had one woman ask me if some man was my friend or was my boyfriend or just a friend. And I said, I know that game. That's what girls do in high school. They want to know what your relationship situationship is with somebody. So they know. So, sometimes you have to look at, you don't need their acceptance and approval. There's 8 billion people on the planet. So the people who don't like you, just move on with your life. And the people who do like you, awesome. Thank you for your support and encouragement. But anyway, that's all I have to say about it. I wanted to come on and say something because I'm offering a LinkedIn class today. And so I'm kind of thinking about social media, and I've kind of come online before and said not everybody is for you. And I have a lot of people who aren't. And I know that they're intentionally not liking my posts. They're intentionally not talking to me. They think that, I don't know who told people this, honestly, but they think that I'm just trying to get attention, and it's really childish. And then this guy came out and was like, well, I don't care if you're a senator or homeless. And that's what they want. They want me to be homeless so I can be less than. People who don't want good things for you aren't your friends. People who say you're not this or you're not that, I have an advanced degree, and I have friends who told me to go get jobs as a customer service rep instead of helping me get a real job that actually uses my skills. And so that's why when I apply for jobs, they're like, well, why are you applying for this job if you have a master's degree, if you were a faculty member, if you did this and that, why are you applying for that job? Oh, because those are the only jobs. So, there's that thing you see on the internet, not everybody in your boat is rowing. Some people are drilling holes. Somebody who's giving you recommendations for jobs that don't match your skills is not somebody who's for you. Somebody who refuses to like your post isn't somebody who's for you. Somebody who won't participate in anything you have to offer or buy your books, or unless they're free, the only time they'll ever it's not even buy, is to get your books is if they can get a free download. That's not somebody who's for you. People spend more on a cup of coffee than some of my books cost. So just think about all of that. Do it anyway. Even if you only have 1 like on your post, do it anyway. Even if you only have 25 views, do it anyway. If that's something you want to do, then you do it. Go out and do it. Even if you only, like, you're an influencer or you're an affiliate and you only made $25 last month, do it anyway. If it makes you happy, do it anyway. It's not about them, it's about you. Anyway, I'm almost back from my walk, and that's kind of all I have to say about that today. I have to go get ready for my class, and since I don't want to have to be a customer service rep, I have to figure out how to make money today. That's what I do every day. Okay, how am I going to make money today? That's what I wake up every day thinking. How am I going to make money today? That's the name of the game. That's what I do this for, because I have to provide a roof over my head. I'm in my 50s. I'm about to retire. I wish I could retire. I actually can't. So I have to make money so I can have a decent life. It's not about who I want to like me or the approval and acceptance of people who will never give it to me, because that's a waste of my time. What isn't a waste of my time is trying to figure out how to make money every day and how to use my skills, my abilities to make money the best way that I can, and to kind of try to adjust to what's going on in the market. Anyway, hope you have a great day today, and stay safe, stay healthy, and take care. Bye-bye.